Hey there, it's Bri the IBCLC, and I'm here to talk you through my top 3 tips on navigating through the emotions of weaning. So my first tip for you today is to first ask yourself, are you really truly ready to wean and stop breastfeeding your little one? Some parents feel pressured to stop breastfeeding at about 1 year old because there's a misconception that there's no benefits of breastfeeding past 1 year, but the actual recommendation is to exclusively breastfeed to 6 months, then to continue breastfeeding till at least 1 year of age. But the recommendation doesn't stop at 1 year. It actually is recommended to breastfeed your little one to at least 2 years old. So first of all, don't feel pressured to stop breastfeeding your baby the minute that they turn 1 year old. You can evaluate if you are still enjoying breastfeeding, if your baby's still enjoying breastfeeding. You can completely continue past the 1 year mark. Now, some parents do notice that their baby, as they're getting close to a year mark, they start to become really distracted when it comes to breastfeeding, and sometimes that can be misinterpreted as early weaning. But studies actually show that it's very uncommon for a baby to self-wean before 18 months. So chances are your little one is actually just distracted and not weaning. But let's say that you are still wanting to start and move down the weaning process, whether it's your choice or it's your baby's choice, or whether you're mutually deciding to start weaning. I'm gonna move on to tip number 2. And my second tip is maybe you are feeling really emotional about stop breastfeeding. A good tip is to take some pictures of you and your little one breastfeeding together. That can be done with a professional photographer, or you could even just have your partner or a friend snap some pictures of you breastfeeding your little one, or you could even take some pictures and videos yourself when you're breastfeeding. And I promise you that you will look back on those pictures and videos and be so glad that you have them. Every time I see a client for an in-home breastfeeding consultation, I always take pictures and videos of them breastfeeding their little one so they can remember the positions that we tried and everything that was working well. And they always respond back and say how glad they are that they have those pictures and those videos to look back on, especially once they're done breastfeeding. My third tip for you is to write down a letter to your baby. Especially if you're feeling really emotional, this is a hard switch for you. There's parts of breastfeeding that you're really gonna miss. Write it all down. You can not only write down the parts that you loved about breastfeeding that you're gonna miss, but you can also include parts that were tricky for you, maybe bumps in the road. Maybe you had mastitis at one point. Maybe you went through a bout of biting. You can write that all down in a letter, and it can be really therapeutic for you to put that all down, get all those emotions out as you start the weaning process. Hope these tips were helpful for you. If you would like to know more about weaning, you can leave any comments about how to start the weaning process or any other questions that you have. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be continually posting more tricks and tips for you. Thanks so much.